Alrighty, we're back for another live stream. 6 p.m. Eastern time. We're gonna try to do this on the regular. So if you're new to this channel, let me know in the chat. If you're OG, I probably recognize you. Thanks for everyone for being here. We're gonna try to do this around the same time during the weekdays till the foreseeable future. Okay, so if you're wondering what's going on, wait for the live stream. We'll try to help you out. Requests, let me know in the chat. I'm going to kind of cover a little bit on Bitcoin while we're waiting on, people to come in here. Then we'll get going with requests. Okay, so Bitcoin on the hour chart here, right? We're starting to slide a little bit to the downside. You can see clear, previous support here, right, has been lost. So we have, I would say, maybe in the next 3, 4, 5 hours, we have to reclaim this, or the odds, start to go way up of further downside. On the positive, we do have the 200 EMA right here, so that will act as support. Also, the upper Bollinger Band is not flaring up just yet, so this might just be a fake out, kind of like we had here, where we start to dip up, then we kind of reverse back. So we could do that, kind of a mirror image, so beware of that. If you start to see prices climb, certainly above like 63.5, get above all these moving averages, this might actually be a fake out, kind of a reverse of that, if you will. So I'd kind of be watching for that. The 4-hour chart, you can see the Bollinger Bands that we looked at today starting to open now. But again, you kind of got to wait for this to really kind of match this bottom one. Otherwise, it could still be a fake out, right? I kind of want to wait until probably maybe the candle after closing, right? This candle closes at the daily close. If we maintain above 62.750, which is that 50 EMA on this 4-hour, that green line, if we can close at or above that, I think we could still maintain the possibility of a potential fake out to the downside before a rally. If we close under the green line, that starts to, take out this low here. And then that would just improve our odds of, kind of slipping back down here. And where would we look for support? Well, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of support here on the 4-hour chart, right? You have like maybe this area. That's still pretty decent way down, right? So we'll be looking at kind of support maybe just under 60K, 59K, 59 to 60K. Or really what I would be looking for at that point is just put in a higher low than this. So we make it rally up, come back down, put in a higher low somewhere above 56K, 57K, and then start to stair climb again, back up and put in new highs. Because we did put in a new high here, right? We took out this high, put in a new one, even though it was slight. So I still don't think we necessarily have to go down and, rip these lows to the downside. So let's just pay attention over the next couple of days here and kind of see what we got going. So let's get to some requests if we got any. What's up, everyone? Thanks for coming, joining in. Recognize some familiar names. So hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're watching, right, just help spread the word. Share it somewhere with your best friend, with your grandma. I don't care. Just tell me you shared it with your dog. We're good. All right. First request is GRT. Covered that in the stream last night. We can go do that again. All right. So let's start on the macro here. Right, the weekly chart. Let's get it back to auto. Right, so we have our Bollinger Bands, which can skew. We don't need that. Let's get that out of here. We can check the Gaussian channel if you want. So, okay, GRT, green Gaussian channel, price action above. That's a good sign. We're zooming way out. Let's remove the Gaussian channel to prevent further skewedness. Okay, so our 2022 highs, right? That's kind of the first rule of thumb that I look for to see if your coin is still in the race, so to speak, if it's the fast pony or not. A lot of coins are still below these levels. So GRT is above it. We're there, but you could see that. So that's, step one. We're above all these previous bear market highs. And like I said, there's many coins that are not there yet. So GRT definitely gets that, check mark. Why did we stop here? Well, look back here, right? Previous swing lows from the last, the final stages of the bull run, flip to resistance. And now we're back to resistance. So if you want GRT to make the bigger moves, we're looking to get back above 50 cents. And then it can really gain bullish traction. So far, if we zoom in here, right, we're not that far from that level. But I do like that anytime we test the 21 EMA, the yellow line, right, holding it so far, loosely based right here, right, kind of a victim of the the Bitcoin's narrative at this point, but it's doing its best to hold that 21, which is what you want to see certainly in a bull market. So if we go up, right, the only thing I'd be watching for is, can we put in a higher high or lower high? If we put in a lower high and then start to come back down again, right, that would be more of I don't want to say bearish, but a sign that more consolidation is needed before we can take out these highs again. And this goes with like Bitcoin or any altcoin as well. If we rally up again, even with Bitcoin, like to 70K, right, that's not enough. We got to get to 73K or all-time highs, or we risk putting a lower low and then sweeping the lows and starting a new downtrend, right? So, the next couple of days to a couple of weeks in crypto and altcoins alike could be pivotal, at least telling us what is the likely scenario for the months ahead. Hopefully that helps you with GRT, the macro perspective. I assume you don't need to know, the 4-hour chart on some of these altcoins, right? Welcome in. Thanks everyone for joining. Again, like I stated before, we're probably going to try to do these each week or each day during this week around the same time, 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern time. What time is it in your neck of the nape? Let me know in the chat. I'd be blown away if someone's like at obscure hours. Like, I think we had one last night at midnight. That's pretty cool. So let's get back to the quotes. AVAX, I'll try to do all the requests quotes. I don't know where I got that from, but words are hard sometimes. AVAX is here. We'll get to AVAX. Similar vibes. We're holding these swing lows so far. It's a good sign, right? You don't want to take out your swing lows. And going all the way back to 2024, we definitely don't want to give that up. Right? Our breakout peak from $28, right, all the way back, you can see we wicked down in January right to that level where we were in the summer of 2022. So AVAX is also above its summer 2022 highs. And again, that's the first checkpoint. You gotta go check your alts. Are they above the 2022 highs? If not, that's a sign that they're a little bit slower movers and could very well stay there. So AVAX is luckily above that, right? The swing lows holding around the $30 mark. That's a pretty key level. If we move back up again, right? Higher high. We got to make another higher high. We're holding these lows. We don't want to start giving this back, or certainly we don't want to, start to potentially form this like kind of head and shoulders, right? If we come up here again and start doing that, that would be bad, right? We want to be aware of, patterns potentially forming. But AVAX can really start to get moving once it takes out these hesitations from last bull run here. So $65, right? Our pivot high so far. AVAX, that's what I'd be looking for. So the odds for a lot of altcoins now and for the next several weeks to months is just more chop. I don't really foresee a new all-time highs for many coins, if any, in the next several weeks. I'd love to be wrong in that, but I think, testing these lows and just range bound between highs and swing lows is kind of the odds-on favorite until we can see a top in Bitcoin dominance. And we just don't have any signs yet. Bitcoin dominance is still at 55% with no signs of slowing down. You can just, if you've never looked at Bitcoin dominance before, I mean, there's a weekly chart for Bitcoin dominance. Right, look at this pattern playing out here. And it's been in this pattern since October, right? It's just broken out, throwback retest of a bullish, breakout, and very likely going to hit higher highs before it comes down to lows, just based on that alone. Says that alt season is nowhere near close, and in fact, it's more like Bitcoin season probably for between now and early midsummer, right? You can see the time frame at the bottom here, like June, July, before we see a peak. If the high is in, right, we got to go down quick, and I just don't see that. Right, this looks very bullish to me. So altcoins are still going to be on relative standby, although Render doesn't seem to get that memo. Right, there's always going to be a couple outliers, and you want to be noting that. Right, hopefully you have some of the stronger coins now will likely remain strong. So Render's had a hell of a past couple of weeks here. I mean, just go look at it on a side note here. Like, compare your coin to Render. Your favorite coin, is it doing what Render's done since October? Like, go back to August here, right? From the highs to lows, 1,000%, right? That's on 11x for the math whizzes. 11x. How's your coin done in 11x the past 6 months? Probably not. So just side note on, holding strong altcoins, right? And then even, if you go down to even the 4-hour chart for Render, geez, look at that. How's your coin done in the past week? Is it up that much? since May. In May, even from these lows, it's still at 50%. Render's like the leader right now, at least for the past couple of weeks. And in the past 6 months, 12 months, you catch the drift. So, okay, back to requests. That's a Bitcoin Cup. Of course. AVAX. There we go. PNG. Let's do it. All right, request for PNG. So let's go out. I like to start on the weekly chart to see what we're looking at, and this looks like a hell of a move up. This is like textbook new coin that you'd want to be in. I assume this is new coin. If it's on a different exchange with more history, I'd like to know. But this looks fantastic. Right, this is what you want to see. These stair steps: move up, consolidate, move up, consolidate. This is how you can remain super healthy. Right? You don't want to see coins just like doing a Doge rocket, because those come back down pretty hard. Like Bonk does well at times when it goes, but comes back down hard too, right? But this is phenomenal structure. Big bullish steps, consolidate. Big bullish step, consolidate. All while holding the 21-week as support. So this definitely gets my stamp of approval. Good request here. This is the kind of stuff you generally want to be in. Going in, through a bull run here, right? Let's see how much this is up. This might just make me eat my words on one of the strongest coins here, right? So 4,000% in the past 200 days is pretty damn remarkable. So kudos to you. Hopefully you loaded up on that, and if you did, and you're rich, you want to share it. I'm good. I'll rock a McLaren with a PNG wrap. Want to go ahead and buy one? That's fine. I should have got some of this, huh? All right. Near. Let's do Near. Trying to rip through these requests so we can get all of them done for you. It just there we go. We're right there. All right. So weekly chart zoomed out. Looking really good. Right? 2022 highs. Are we above that? Okay, that's check mark 1. Are you above your resistance zone? Yep, we did that way back in January. So that's good. Good breakout there. Are you holding the 21-week as support? Yes. Check. We're at our previous bull market, right? Start of the bear market, right? Swing lows. Mates new bull market swing highs, right? So when we clear this, Near was likely going to, catch a little bit of rocket fuel, I would guess, once we can start to turn this back to support. I would highly give that some pretty good odds. So anticipate that. For $9, just structure-wise, excuse me, structure-wise, this is, phenomenal. This is like bull flag after bull flag, right? Put this on a line chart. Look at this. Flag pull up, flag down, right? You want your flags strong. People mistake this a lot, especially for new traders. You get this move up, and then you're like, oh, this is a flag here. Look at this. Here's a bull flag. No. Flags move up strong and then move down strong. And then they break, right? Look at this move. That's a bull flag. Look at this move. That's a bull flag. If you draw this out like this, like a lot of people can mistake that for a bull flag. That's a bearish, right? That's just a move higher into lower high consolidation, usually with a flat base. That's not a pennant either. A pennant is more like a sideways triangle, right? You have higher lows and higher highs. This is back that out, right? This is bearish. This is bullish. And many people certainly get that wrong that I've seen over my 7-8 years being here. So good. Side note, we're back on track. The Near looks great, right? Back-to-back bull flags on a weekly chart is how do you want to ask for more than that? And now we're knocking on the door of at least local highs for the bull run, which is few and far between in altcoins. So and again, another strong coin here. Looking great. So kudos to you if you got into Near. And it's certainly anywhere in the past 6 months. Imagine you got Near for $1. That's It's been done pretty well for you. $2, $3. You had so much time. All right. Near, we got a couple requests for Near, so I'm glad I could cover that. And if you have requests and they're like new coins or brand new, or don't have at least 3-6 months of data, like it's going to be almost useless, right? You're just holding newer coins in anticipation of them doing well at the end of this bull run, right? And I still think the end of this bull run is probably about a year away, give or take a little bit, right? No, I don't think the top is in. I don't think we're close. Bitcoin dominance hasn't topped yet even. That's usually about halfway through a cycle. So I still think we have a year or so before we actually macro peak. That's a good thing, right? We want our portfolios to gain the most value, and time is what's going to do that. Not peaking in July. Like that would suck. As much as you think that would be great, we might 2 or 3x from here, market wide, but you want a 10x from here, you got to give us some time. So I think that's a good thing. All right. Just reading the chat here. So if I'm silent. Okay, while I'm on Near, projected target. So I only like projected targets based on like kind of fib scales to get a loose thing. Just pulling random numbers out of a hat is absolutely worthless unless you're just doing it for clicks, which is what most people do. Like XRP to $300, okay. But so let's look at kind of a Fibonacci, right? So how do you do that? Well, if you're new, right, you can just I know you can't see my screen, but if you hold over here, it's one with 4 lines, right? Hopefully you can figure it out on TradingView. There's plenty of Google videos. But if you hold down Control on your keyboard, if you do this on your actual computer, it'll snap right to these tops. So you can get exact numbers. You see how it's like going right to it? This is what you want to be, very exact in Fibonacci, certainly. And that's also one of its downfalls, is if you don't do it perfectly correct, it can be way off, right? And then you also have different settings in TradingView. You have to use log scale if you're on log scale, or the numbers will be way off as well. So if you're doing this and numbers aren't matching up, you have to go into settings in TradingView, make sure you have log scale ticked and you're on log scale. Right? Some people use linear scale on log scale. That'll skew these numbers. So just a side note on that. Okay. So the 1618 on Near, someone's pissing their pants right now. $136. Is that possible? Well, I have another check I like to do. So you go look at the coin market cap. Hopefully you all know what the hell that is. Coin market cap. For a side note, right? You can get your whatever your coin you're looking at. What is the market cap, right? If it's already $1 billion and you're thinking it's going to 100x, like, do the math on that. It's not going to work out for you. So go get your market cap here. I don't know. I haven't memorized all market caps. But as a general rule of thumb, most coins do top performers. I'm not saying most coins, right? Most coins that are the top performers of previous cycles, around 20,000% moves. So is 14,000% possible? Of course. From the bottom, right? You want to go from the bottom. So yeah, I think that actually has a legit chance of hitting this based on the Fibonacci, right? I like the 1618 as a starting point for a lot of these coins. So remember, swing highs, swing lows, that gets you your extension, and that's pretty great. Now let's, just for shits and giggles, let's go check what this market cap is, because now I'm interested, because I might have to get me some more Near here. Because that seems okay. So it's already pretty high. So this is now okay, seven almost $8 billion market cap. So now we're starting to get into some trouble, right? Because if you're already there, I mean, multiply your $8 billion market cap by 15 here, right? We're looking at a 15x here. We're starting to get a little antsy. It's possible, right? We're not calling for $1 trillion market caps, but those are good checks. If you watch some kind of Moonboy video that says, Litecoin's going to $560 this cycle, like, let's do the math on that real quick, right? Do the fib extension. Where does that say? Right? So these are good checks to just throw out when you see these moon videos, right? Just go check it. Is it under 20,000% from the bottom or near? And is the 1618 in the relative ballpark of where the smartest YouTuber is saying, right? Okay, so just the side note. Hopefully you learned something there. All right. What else we got? God, pretzels are making me thirsty. Seinfeld reference. Y'all are too young for that. I'm not eating pretzels. It was just a line. Calm down. What else? Near. Okay, so I did that. The projection. Hopefully that helps. I think I got a couple requests up higher, like I just jumped right over. Mara? I think I got that in here. Nope. Not gonna do that if it's that's not it for sure, right? Still SK. So hard pass on those. Unless you got some other way to find it. Gari. I'm up for any request as long as it's got history. Well, we don't want to do it against the euro. Screw that. Let's do it. How about go against dollar? Let's do that. People in Europe hate me. Okay, so yeah, not looking the best, right? Comparative to some of these other coins we're looking at. We're under the 21 week. We are under our 2022 highs significantly, and we are still down, 97% from our highs. So this is not the opposite of warm and fuzzy feelings, right? It's just not what you're gonna want to be in. Hopefully you have just a little of this, maybe for a moon bag, just in case. But if you have more than like 5-10% of your portfolio in this, now's the time to switch the ponies around, right? I mean, just compare this to. I mean, let's watch, right? What we do. I like to do this on the streams, right? So we compare our coins very easily. From where, compare it to stronger coins. Let's go up here. Let's even start off with Bitcoin, and then whoops, let's pretend that didn't happen and go back. Right, you're going to compare your coins. How do we do that? Right, you have a line chart, simple. Right, hit your plus button over here, and not what I just did. Let's go add render to it. You can do Solana. What else? Near. We just looked at Near, right? Let's throw that on there, right? And now let's go look at them. So here you go. So we have these performance-based coins, right? You have Gari in the blue. It's the one at the bottom if you need help. And then we have Render in orange. Modestly. Now let's scroll in a little bit. Let's start at the start of the bull run here. Let's make it even, right? Okay. So the start of the bull run. So since 2023 of January, Gari is down 60%. Near is up 343%. Solana is up 940%. And Render is in a modest 2,300%. What the hell? Is this not eye-opening or what? Right? You don't need... How much information do you need on a chart? Nothing. Right? Just put these on line charts and go compare them to the rest of the market. You'll be surprised at how piss poor some of your coins are doing versus others. And maybe, hopefully, you're in some of these. Like, what's some more? What's some more strong ones? Well, it's the ones we've been talking about for a long time. How about Fetch? Look at Fetch. Fetch in the blue here, right? Look at that. Strong. You can just go down the list and do this. This is a very useful exercise to do. Homework, if you will. So go try this. If you have any issues with this, right? I did see a question in our Telegram group of like, what the hell is wrong with the charts? What am I doing wrong? Well, first of all, make sure you have no other indicators on, right? Put it on a line chart. And then when you hit this button, if you just highlight these, right, you can play around with this. Same scale is generally what you're going to want. You don't have to necessarily hit any of that. I think it defaults to that. But if perhaps you've changed this, if you put new pane, it just adds it to your indicator list below. You don't want that either. You can do new price scales, but that can skew you as well. I would guess that that's what you have it on if this is not looking right for you. So same percent scale, try that. If that doesn't work, shoot your computer. All right. So enough of that. What else we got? Back to requests. Did I do enough on that request? Gary Network, probably not. You probably have clicked off. You're like, what a piece of shit. He's dissing my coin. It's not my intention to hate on your coin. It's just I'm trying to help as many people as possible. So if you're in the slow ship and I'm riding by in a speedboat, I'm trying to grab your hand, but you got to reach out. Yeah? All right. It's a pretty good analogy on the fly, right? All right. Speedboats. Grab my speedboat hand. Let's see. More requests. We're getting to them all. If something looks wrong in the chat, I get warnings from YouTube all the time that my chat stream is low. So if it looks like shit, just tell me. Let's see. What am I doing? Mile a minute. All this on no caffeine. How's that possible? DMTR. Is this the right one? We'll go with that, since you can't talk back. Get back to regular charts. Let's put on some moving averages. Let's zoom way the hell out. Holy hell. Let's put it back on log scale. Do it linear scale versus log scale. All right. Well, what the hell happened to this in the bear market? I mean, victim of a bear market, just a rocket ship down and a nuke explosion. So it's at least it's building back, right? It's showing proper structure. With you got your lows, right? Low, a high, higher low, and a higher high. So it's trying. Maybe just a victim, one of the worst victims I've seen of the bear market. Just a absolute nuke to hell. But it's showing good signs, right? This is good structure, so I'm not hating on it just yet. I like that it's trying to hold here the 21 week, and it's well above it now. Any coin that's below the 21 week, you got to be a little hesitant on. There's some that shall not be named that are kind of below the 21 week right now that maybe we're fans of and losing hope. But the 21 week is where your checkpoint is. Are you closing higher than your previous highs? Yeah, this fits all that. Check marks on the weekly. Like to maintain above this, ideally, right? Or only like really rally in the bear market. Look at that move, 138% in a week. That's pretty strong. So if we can move down, you don't want to see this really give away the 10-cent level for this structure, right? Hopefully that helps. Not a whole lot to go off of. That is the worst I've ever seen. So damn, you took a massive hit. I've never seen anything go down that straight before. 99.9%. And then it's recovered somehow miraculously. That's impressive. Honestly. All right, Toncoin. Let's do that. Welcome in for the 14 of you that are here. That's about typical. If I ever get like 20, 30 people in here, I wouldn't know what to do. Whatever. We'll just keep doing it because I just cracked myself up. That's fine. All right, and if you're just joining, right, we're going to try to do these streams all the weekdays about the same time. So same bat channel, same bat time. Okay, Toncoin on the weekly chart, all uptrend, right? If you need more help, which way is the lines moving? Up. That's a good check mark, right? You don't have to make it stupid hard, right? Which way is the trend? Always up. Okay, that's good, right? Not a whole lot of history here. Maybe there's a better exchange to get more history. The daily charts above all moving averages, looking good. Let's just see the Gaussian channel check. Good. Look at the bounce. You got to use the Gaussian channel. I mean, you can't make that up that just bounced right there at the median Gaussian, right? Right at these swing lows. Good structure there. Nice. And back above Gaussian, right? Looking good. On the daily. Daily's less meaningful. I like the 5-day. Pun intended, right? Hence the name. 5-day crypto, right? Weekly. Looking good. Gaussian channel's way the hell down here. Also, if your Gaussian channel is below your previous breakouts, which this is, right? That's a good sign. Real good, right? You're unlikely that we're ever going back below that. I would say ever. Honestly, unless, catastrophe. So that's good. Ideally, right? You don't want to go back below your 21 week. So that's all the way down here. 420. Let's look at, well, you can't really see these are where you can get caught, because if you try to do like a fib extension on this, you can see the issue here, right? Because you're not going to go from here to there. There's not much history. So fib extensions are kind of more short-term plays on these newer kind of coins that don't have like years of history, prior history. Just a side note on that. I knew someone would like that near projection, 130 bucks. It kind of blew my mind too, but I mean, it looks relatively possible. All-time high projection for Solana. I like it. So I think Solana might have a legit chance of hitting like $500, $600. If I could find the damn chart, we could go look at it. Just a rough projection there. And damn, we got lines all over this thing. Jesus, we did it again. All right, let's get off of that painting tool. Right, so this is the short-term fib, right? And looking at this, I mean, look at that. So just the weekly swing high to swing low here, but this is, if you zoom in into like the daily chart, this would seem a little bit more legit. So the 1618 on this swing move. So our next kind of target of area of interest on Solana is next move up when it breaks highs. I would say around the $300 mark. Then you got 550 above that, but that's not really what we're looking at, right? I would even, let's get rid of that. This is the big one. Well, no, we're not. We have to go that one. That was the doozy, right? We had to do this one because this is like batshit crazy, right? That's not happening. $2,000 Solana. That would be 30,000%. So if you've been watching this stream the whole time, you know that's well outside of our comfort zone. For you know, that's Moonboy shit. Get rid of that. I would say that 550 is a pretty good target, right? And to do that again, right, we can just zoom in here a little bit and do it again together since I've deleted it, right? Fib extension, right? Here's our low, swing high, leading low. So 303, 549. I mean, best case 1,000. I doubt it, right? Just not to burst your bubble here, but I mean, Solana was at $15. It's already a 10x, okay? Right, to do that again, right? I just don't see it happening. But I mean, is there a case to be made of maybe knocking on the door of 1,000? Perhaps. But I like, if you're not taking profits at $500, what are you doing, right? $15 to 500. Let's just like see what that move was. Like, I mean, look at this. Like, there's people that bought here. Okay. So to get the 1618, that's 1,600%. And you got to keep in mind, like, these might not seem that big of numbers compared to some other things, but Solana's been around a while, and Solana's already at like in the top 5 cryptos, right? All of crypto. Okay, the market cap's already insane high. It's harder to turn the Titanic than a speedboat. Okay, you're just generally. I just don't see much going much above that. So hopefully that helps. Not to burst anyone's bubble. Thanks, Solana's going to $5,000 this cycle, but I would guess around the 500 to 600 mark. Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for coming in. Appreciate y'all being here. I recognize some of your faces from your thumbnails or your names. Thanks for the long time support for a lot of you guys. Projection for Chainlink. I like it. Let's do it. The elephant in the room. Who likes Chainlink anyway? I just bought a goddamn $500 neon sign. No big deal. So let's get to it. Let's go to the weekly. Let's just make this simpler. I'll do the fib extension on here, and I think the 1618 on this, if I do remember, around $200. So there you go, 220 for the 1618. That'd be best case, right? I don't think it's going higher than that. Do I think it's even going to go to that? Not based on what I've seen the past 2 months. I had high hopes. That'd still be pretty nice. From the lows of $5 to 200, right? That's pretty insane. But even, 10x to get back to all-time highs, right? I mean, there's a 10x right there. So could we get to that? Yeah, I'd still be shocked if we're not at all-time highs by the end of this run, as important as Chainlink is. But like, let's look at why did we reverse here? Why did we top out here? Look at the 618, right? We're right there, 21. This is why we have to flip this to support. We said in all the bullish chain link videos as we were climbing up, 21's the number. Once we do that, we can go. Until then, we're holding resistance, and we just hit the 618 there, back down. We're still okay structure-wise, but the major alarm here, and what I don't like, is look how significantly below we went the 21 week. It's one of the few coins with this high market cap that's done that. There is a couple others. Injective, I think, is there. That got hit especially hard during that drop. Chainlink and Injective are probably the two of the higher market caps that got just slapped around harder than others. So we'll see if they can recover. We're still at these swing lows. So, to answer your question and stop beating around the bush, if I had to, gun to my head right now, which some of you probably have, 100, if I had to be, a safe bet, triple digits, right? I think we'd all be relatively happy with that. To get to $100, that we'd be looking at still a 2,000% jump, right? I don't see how you can fault it for doing that. But just to get to our all-time highs from here, we're looking at still another 300% move, right? We should do that. Most all coins from here should be doing 300%, or it's like, get the hell out, right? If Chainlink doesn't take out all-time highs, I will publicly explode that sign with the biggest firework I can find. Okay, we'll just stream it. If Chainlink doesn't, last cycle I was giving away Chainlink signs. This cycle I'm blowing up Chainlink signs. All right, all right. So if we do not clear all-time highs, we'll have some fun with that sign. All right. So hopefully that helps. Well, at least someone could maybe hold Chainlink. It looks like someone's got Near and Chainlink, so at least if Chainlink fails, I could still get a wrapped Lambo. If Near projection play out. All right, let's get to the next request. On to the next request. No pun intended. It was intended. All right, here we go. On to the next. Okay, so not a whole lot of charts here. What are we doing? We can't chart it, right? So it's is not really going to help you here, right? I think we did this last stream too. So the daily chart we're zoomed in, which is still less meaningful than a weekly. Don't want to go back below here. Right here's our swing high, 60 cents. Go back below that. That would be crossing the streams bad. We're trending sideways. No trend here, right? Just chop. So trading anything here is dangerous. You want to be trading trends, like an uptrend or a downtrend. You want to do nothing in a sideways, right? You're just flipping a coin. You're playing with fire there. Wait till there's a trend, either down or up, to do anything. That's generally good advice, and not just speaking of this. All right, I cannot barely talk. All right, C-swap, is that, did you misspell that, or is it, okay, there we go. No, I just misread it, don't worry. Let's see, what's going to have the most? Probably that. All right, a little better, not much. I mean, that's a hell of a nice move there. I'd like to see how much that is. That's 2,000% move. That's what we need Chainlink to do. Chainlink coming. Daily downtrends. Damn, how much are we off the highs there? Look at that. 76% off of the highs. That got a beatdown. But there's many that got that, right? Even higher ones. I think Injective went down like relatively close to that, 60, 70%. That's a super high market cap. So what are we looking at here? Potential, and this is way potential. You don't want to read too much into this, but potential inverse head and shoulders forming here, right? If we get something like that, right? Neckline kind of loosely fit up there. Kind of draw it more, and this is reaching. So I would go with that. I mean, if we come back down more and we start to break up, your buy trigger would be like right around 14 cents. That could moon. So we'll take a look at that and keep that on the radar. But again, don't play too much into potentials on any pattern. If you're a pattern trader, you only trade the pattern after it confirms. This wouldn't confirm until, one, you spend the next several days forming a shoulder, and two, it has to break 14 cents. But potential, because I mean it does like to go bull and go crazy. Nice recovery. 100% up off the lows already. That's pretty impressive. That's one of the better ones I've seen. So, not too bad, right? You're above this kind of hesitation level. You can see kind of where we flipped from resistance to support there, right? Resistance, support, breakthrough one more time. So we don't want to give that back again, or that would be a sign of weakness. 9-cent level. Okay. All right, that's a good one. DC8 into Matic. You might have to take that L. Yeah, Matic is not shaping up to be one of the fan favorites. That's had the potentials there. Last cycle, obviously it was there, but Matic this cycle is like if someone asks you if you hold Matic, you're like, yeah, just like kind of shake your head and turn and change the subject. I can't even find it. I might have deleted it. I was so mad at it. So I had a bunch of Matic last cycle. Thankfully, I don't have any this cycle because damn. Right, do your line comparison chart to Matic. It's like down for the past year. Is that as batshit crazy as that is? Right, we opened in January 2023 at 75 cents. Whoa. Yeah, this is looking rough. If you have Matic, and certainly if you have a bunch of Matic, I'd probably get a faster horse, like, quick before this horse breaks its fifth leg. Right, so, damn. I mean, just look at structure. I dare you to find a worse looking chart for the market cap. Honestly, I mean, what the hell is going on with Matic? It looks terrible. I'll tell you my true feelings after this, but this looks really bad. Lower highs, open low. It could 15 months. It could have put in a higher high. What? No higher highs, right? There's the high from February 2023. Wow. This would be the equivalent of Bitcoin being at I mean under 30K. I mean, just keep those numbers in mind here, right? This is real bad, right? And you don't have to take my word for it. I mean, just compare it to literally any other coin. It's real terrible. Let's just, I mean, we can pick blind coins here. We certainly don't want to pick Near or Solana, but we're going to. Or double Near. You'd better be off holding double Near, right? We can exit one of those, but I mean, look at this. So Matic, you're like, oh, it's way up. No, you got to start them at the same level, bud. So if you're wondering, let's go back to 2023 where we started, and then we can really see, right? Start of the bull market, and yeah, you like zoom way out. You're like, oh, Matic's like way up. This is why people have the allure that Matic's still a good coin, because they know what it did last cycle, right? No, we're not there anymore. Go to 2023, start of this bull run. It's minus 20% since 2023. Near up 300%, and much more than that as of recent, right? You can see how much better they start doing when they should be performing. Like October would be a better measure. October, a lot of coins really started moving. Look at that. If your coin's down since October, I mean, just shoot yourself. No, don't do that. YouTube will strike me. But you get the point. Shoot your imaginary self, right? All right, I'm gonna get banned. Reported. All right, so just if you can't tell how my feelings are about Matic so far. All right, next request. We're moving on. Yeah, good luck with chain swap. That sounds promising, actually. Did I do everything? We are about 7. We do have 22 viewers here. I think that's knocking on the door of a record. So kudos to you. Oh, Dot, good call. We'll do Dot, and then I might do more. Dot, let's get to Dot. I think I actually removed Dot. Now it's here, playing. Don't have a heart attack. So let's start on the weekly. Let's zoom out. Let's put it back on an actual scale we can all read. Here we go. Okay, so zoomed out. Are we above 2022 highs? Red X number 1. Are we above the 21-week moving average? Red X number 2. Okay, 3 strikes, and we just eliminated off the chart. What's my third strike? Is the Gaussian channel green? Okay, at least we got bailed out on that. We held the line at the median Gaussian. So crisis averted. We didn't have to eliminate Dot forever. But we're knocking on that door, aren't we? We're back under, again, even 2023 highs. That's another sign of slow pony. He's got 2 legs. When's the last time you saw a fast horse on two legs? I haven't seen it. We got to get back above the 100 week. I mean, holy hell. It's right there in the blue if you can't see through all the colors. The blue line. Let's just remove that. We know it's not getting back above that this week. What we need to see is like this little horseshoe turnaround here, right? Where you kind of fire down, shoot across, and then shoot up. Right? That would be a bullish move. That was about the only thing that's going to save DOT for this cycle is if we can do that. So red minus 20. We need a green plus 20. Get back above 9 and quickly, or we're in danger here, right? I mean, the 100 week and this little top here. 850, we'll go 850. Okay, DOT is another weaker pony. Do you need me to do the line chart again? It'd actually be pretty comical to do Matic and DOT. That'd be a battle of the the two. They got 3 legs between them. Okay, so we'll do Harmony 1 and Patreon. I would suggest starting in just like the silver group and see how you like that. And if you need, more help than that, then we can talk more. You can send me a message. We can talk about it. But I would generally recommend if you're wanting to stay on top of everything going into the markets and want like access to me all day, every day, just start with the silver group, and then you can see all the content there. If you like that, then we can talk about other stuff. Okay. Harmony 1, let's get to it. So what we're talking about here is the question in the chat. If you want extra content and a lot of extra videos, since I've been in crypto about 7-8 years, I'm a certified level 1 CMT, so I've got just some structured teaching and education on the subject. I try to do my best to help you navigate each cycle, and we talk a lot of extra content and bonus videos, and more just kind of personable one-on-one help if you are so inclined. So I don't see Harmony 1 anywhere, so we're gonna add it back. I bet it's on my chart. It was somewhere, but I have like 100 coins, so I can't just keep scrolling. All right, so let's go to Harmony 1, and that'll probably about wrap it up. We'll do maybe a couple more if I can see some. Type your request in the chat so you hold me here. Let's see. The weekly Harmony 1. We're still not above our 2022 highs. We're below our 21-week moving average, so that's still the double Xers. Kind of similar vibes to DOT, right? I mean, the charts almost look identical. Let's go to DOT. There's DOT. There's 1. I mean, it's almost a copycat, right? So a little bit slower mover. It's trying, but slow and steady doesn't win altcoin races. All right, so we got to pick up speed here. Let's zoom out. I mean, look at how well Harmony 1 did last cycle again. Last cycle, that's gone. Is it going to do that again? Highly probably not. Right? For any coin, not just Harmony 1, but whatever you did last cycle, it's not going to do that again. Okay? There's never been a coin that outperforms the next cycle. Very minimal. I should say very few. Right? Some are already doing it, like Render, Injective. Those are high power plays, but few and far between, I should say. Right? So hesitation last bull market turns to resistance now, resistance now, resistance now. You're under the 200 week. This is almost a 3-strike coin, honestly, structure-wise, fundamentals, whatever. But if it's not paying you, then why are you holding it, right? You're under the 200 week. You're under the 21 week. You're under your 2022 highs. It's climbing up the stairs. It has still like a glimmer of hope here, but it's got to go soon, like DOT, right? It's got to have like a 20% shot up here. When the market moves again, so let's say altcoins start to blow up again, and we're like back to green, and we're so back vibes. Twitter's alive, and you see these coins lagging behind. That's the hatchet. You got to cut them then, right? You can hold on to them then until then, if you're so inclined. But I would suggest kind of switching out of your slower ones, moving into some faster ones, or over these next couple of weeks while we're kind of just chopping around. Just my 2 cents, not financial advice, but do what you want. But how well has it worked out so far, right? Yeah, Fetch is doing great, but my only concern with Fetch, like, I have a bunch of Fetch, but my only concern is that it's joining the ASI conglomerate, of Fetch, Ajax, and Ocean. I don't know what that's going to do. Right? Nobody does. It's never really been done. So Fetch is looking, I mean, it's one of the best performers in all of crypto. Certainly for the market cap, it's there. It's like, it got to be mentioned. Astounding. Like, what crypto with this market cap has gone up 4,500%? Really, more than that, right? From to the highs. But I don't know what that ASI joining is going to do to it. Hopefully it's great. It's going to have over 7 billion market cap. But I don't know if it can do this. It's unlikely that it's just going to continue to do this when it's not just this. That makes sense. So I'm anxious to wait and see what that does. Like, which the first major exchange going to be to list it? Binance or Bybit, or unlikely Coinbase is going to be the first. Although that would be nice. I mean, Coinbase still doesn't even have Ajax listed. What hopes do we have at ASI getting listed? That's my 2 cents on that. But yeah, Fetch hopefully does well, right? Yeah, actually, OXO. I'm surprised you know that. I've actually got that on here. One of my friends actually told me about this quite a bit ago. I didn't really get any, but yeah, it's a good looking structure wise. Looks great. I mean, went on a hell of a tear here, right? So 500% in like a month is a pretty good return. All the structure looks great, right? Swing lows holding the 21 week, swing lows holding the 21 week. That's as strong as you could possibly hope for. This move down to the 21 week should be well welcomed. You want this. You want it to cool off. You don't want it to just continue to do this. You want these moves back down because it can continue to do that. Like if you're looking at a coin and it's been around since July, I bet it's not outperforming this. So younger coins, this is exactly the textbook chart you would want to see. So kudos to you if you got in this. Certainly back in this area, 10 cents or less. I think it was just released to the larger exchanges during this kind of area. So that's probably why the rally. That's kind of when I started learning about it. Probably February, March, I think. But yeah, like I said, if you have any, you're beating me. But I do like that project. Alrighty, 16. I think I'll wrap it up there. We'll do more the next stream tomorrow. Around 6 o'clock Eastern time. So 23 hours from now, if you need help. And we'll do more terrible comedy, more stuttering. Car of the day. If you didn't miss it, did you miss it? I missed it. I don't even know where it's at. I think I deleted it already. Shit. Actually, it's my right here. Ferrari Daytona. There you go. Those are my videos today. If you didn't watch that, we do cars of the day. We do quotes of the day. Get in on that. Blend it there. All right. Appreciate you watching this long. If you have, kudos to you. 57 gold stars. Ferrari Daytona. To end on that. And Epictetus. Why not? Who doesn't like to end on Epictetus quotes? Of course. Raise your hand. I'll see you right back here tomorrow.